Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about what is coming to Trailmakers. Some of the most trail-makering stuff Trailmakers has ever trailed in the game. Because they are adding tank tracks, which has the word tracks in the name. Should be called tank trails in Trailmakers, to be honest. And a brand new DLC, entire campaign with a brand new map and everything. And also a handful of free additions and parts to the game as well, and we're going to be diving into all of it that is known right now. I think there's some more information that will be coming out in the coming weeks up until whenever the release date happens to be. But let's get started on the announcement trailer for the tank tracks themselves. All right, so here is the announcement trailer for the tracks. I think there are 3 different sizes. These are the small tracks, which are 1x3 by 7. You can see different sets of them on different types of vehicles. I believe, here, let's go back. This is the medium track here. But it looks like by the shape of these, if you just kind of take these back and front ones and smush them together, you'll kind of have a new track shape, it seems like, almost. That could look like one cohesive piece, but they also work as individual pieces, like on the front or the back like that. And then right here, you got the medium tracks, which are 2x4x12. You can see a central one here on like a track bike versus the more tanky type ones. And then this is the large track, which was, hold on, what was it? What were the numbers? 3x5x20 on these large tracks. And they've been really liking those motorcycle track things. And then this one is like, what do they call these? I just forgot the name. It was like tip of the tongue thing. Half track. I think these like half tracks where half of the vehicle is tracks and half of it is wheels like that. So that is the tank tracks, and from what I believe is the tracks are free. The tracks themselves are not a DLC thing. They are going to be free for everybody in the game. It is the campaign and the skins that is going to be DLC, but everybody is going to have access to these tank tracks. Now, before we move on to the next trailer, I went into the live streams about the tank tracks and pulled out some cool little things. All right, so as far as like the small tank track goes, we can see a couple of examples of angles, images, and vehicles that use these small tank tracks. Here's a little like Bobcat front loader or whatever they're called, little bulldozer thing. That's pretty cool. Then we're going on to the medium tracks. Another example of a medium track thing. It's kind of funny, this is like a motorcycle thing, but it actually has 2 sets of tracks, but it gives motorcycle vibes. Then here's the more typical tank with the medium tracks. This scale kind of looks like a more tiny, small tank. Very, very, very video game aesthetic on this one. And then as we get to, oh, this is actually a combination of the medium and small tracks. So small tracks out front for like front wheels, medium tracks back here. If you're wondering how the tracks work, I will go into that very soon. And then I believe, are these still the medium tracks? Those still look like they're the medium tracks. There we go. Then here's the, nope, these are 2 sets of medium tracks. Okay, so here you can see, I believe these are 2 sets of medium tracks that are overlapping to create a new dimension of tracks there. So there's that possibility. And then here, oh, no, are those more overlapping tracks? Actually, these might be large tracks that are overlapping. It's hard to tell the scale of things. This is definitely large track here, for sure. And then these are large tracks here on this truck. We've already seen that truck in the trailer as well, I believe. So it looks like the large tracks have 7 big wheels there. So then this thing is medium tracks with only 4 big wheels down there. So yeah, this also looks like a medium track vehicle. So there's a lot of ways you can combine and use the tracks to create different shapes of tracks as well. So we will also be getting alternative skins. So you can see down here in this video, in the skins under tracks, you can see different 2 different options. So you got your standard option, and then they just switched over to the other skin, and the skin I think is going to be included with the DLC. So you have a couple of different vibes for the tracks as well. Yeah, so you can see here's one skin here, and then there's the other skin there for the small version of the tracks. So as far as how the tank tracks work, this is actually really interesting. They have a steering module that automatically hooks up the tank tracks to have tank steering. So here's them actually building a tank steering thing from scratch. So all they do is they add an engine to it because you need an engine to power the tracks. And then you can see he's about to reach for it. He's about to reach for it here. Almost there. Okay, well, I guess he's bringing out the tank tracks first. Okay, we got the medium tank tracks. Any second now, he's gonna reach for the steering module. Just need to copy over the tank tracks. All right, we got everything we need except for the steering. And there it is. Okay, hold on. Tank steering mechanism. 5 kilograms enables vehicle to rotate in place and steer like a tank without the need of steering hinges or advanced setup. So apparently you slap this thing on your vehicle, and the way it works is it acts as 2 separate engines controlling each side of your vehicle independently, allowing it to turn and drive just like a tank. So this isn't like a gyro, where a gyro adds a force to your entire vehicle and causes it to turn. This is actually causing your tank treads themselves to do the movement and the turning. So it's not going to work if you're like jumping in the air. You're not going to be able to turn yourself in the air like with a gyro. And unlike a gyro, this isn't going to be causing your wheels or your treads to like scrape across the ground with weird like forces. They're actually going to be rotating in the direction that they're supposed to go. And what they're demonstrating now in this stream is it doesn't just apply to tank treads. You can actually slap wheels down on the vehicle and it'll work just the same. So this is actually tank steering on the wheels themselves. Yeah, because see they gave an example here with the elevated. You can see the left and right sides are working independently of each other, depending on what the character does, whether he's turning left or right or going forward and back. So that's going to make it super easy and accessible for people to add tank steering to their vehicles. And they said that also if you want to do the logic-based system, if you want to have more fine control over exactly what engine is doing what, you can still do it like that too. This just makes it intuitive and quick to get a tank steering vehicle up and running. All right, so another thing is they're adding quality of life to the update, which includes a rework of the collision physics that creates all of like the sparks and everything. So you can see how much more sparky this left panel is over here versus the right panel on the same creation. So there's going to be a lot less sparky things. They're adding a whole bunch of new colors. So we're going to have much more freedom of aesthetics as far as what colors our builds are going to be. So you can see an example here. And this is something that I've personally been wanting. I never actually brought it up to them, but like literally one of the times that I happened to mention it during a multiplayer video, I don't even think it made it into the video. Like I'm pretty sure it got cut out in the edit, but the people I was recording with remembered me mentioning that it would be so nice to be able to select blocks of the same color. Because whenever we're like building things and swapping builds, sometimes we've painted things in our color scheme, and the simplest thing would just be to change the parts that are that color to our own color, but you have to individually select each painted part. But now they've added a one click and you can select everything of a specific color and change it. So that's going to make themed builds for like certain colors themes and stuff. You can easily change the aesthetic to fit a different theme just by selecting that color. And also, as you can see, there is going to be a new configuration UI for configuring parts and everything. Looks very smooth, very clean. And yes, it's going to be different and take some getting used to, like anything is, but then it's going to be, you're going to forget what the old one looked like probably within a week. And yeah, on this screen in particular, as far as the colors go, you can see the bottom of the screen how many more color options there really are. All right, so now let's move on. We're going to be taking a look at the trailer introducing the new snow map. So, as you can see, this map's got lots of snow. You see a lot of snow around here, and if you look to your left and your right, you'll see a little bit more snow. Up in the front there, you'll see some snow as well. And over here, you actually see some, that's ice, which is like a harder version of snow. And then you got the water over here, which is like when the snow melts. So it's still kind of more versions of snow. And then the snow is also, it's like rain, but like hard, like physical rain, that not wet rain, it's snow comes out of the sky. And then here you can see there's a lot of harder snow. And then this is just like a big overview of the snow. And then the snow also works at night. So that's really cool. And that's the snow map. All jokes aside, the snow map is actually pretty cool because it brings, when I said at the beginning of the video that Trailmakers has never trailed this hard, because they've added snow deformation to the map, like terrain deformation in a way. So you can see here, this vehicle has a lot of wheels, and it is driving through the snow and creating very, very deep tracks in the snow. And one of the cool things is the snow does have a physical resistance against you depending on how you're driving through it. So you can have like big wheels like this, which apparently will slow you down in the snow because you have to push your way through a lot more. But I guess tank tracks add a little bit less resistance. And then you have skis, which kind of allow you to stay on top of the snow and have minimal resistance. And we'll see examples of that as well. But just seeing the trails that this thing creates, and apparently the snow trails, they stick around for quite a while too. So this is gonna be really, really fun. And when you deform the snow like this, it actually is like a physical thing that the game detects. So if you deformed snow, if somebody is following in your snow tracks, they are going to feel less resistance on the deformed snow than the non-deformed snow. So in this part of the stream, they spawn in a vehicle that has skis and a small tank track, and you can see the difference in the trails. Like it's a very, very different type of trail that this thing is leaving because it's a lot more efficient on the snow, a lot lighter, and the parts that they're using, they're not digging into the snow as much. So it's going pretty fast, and it is not deforming nearly as much of a trail behind it. But you can see there is a little bit there. So the type of wheel you choose is going to make a difference. So here's something using tank tracks as well. This one's using I think this is using tank tracks. Yep, this one's using tank tracks as well. So the tank tracks seem to be really good on the snow. The skis seem to be really good on the snow. Oh, and then here's a part in the stream where you can see the effects of the character. So you can see when the character lands in the deep snow here, the character actually sinks down into the snow, and look at the difference in the walking speed as they go from in the snow to out of the snow. So they have a separate snow speed, which makes a lot of sense. Happens in real life too. Another cool thing about the deformation is explosions and projectiles affect it as well. So check this out. So you can see when they shoot the snow with the tank, it creates a snow crater. So you can totally like draw things with weapons. I don't know if this is gonna work with non-explosive things. I didn't see an example of them shooting it with like machine guns or things like that. So I don't know if that's gonna work or it just has to be explosions. But that's a pretty cool feature. Another really cool thing about the map is there's this awesome visual aurora borealis at night, and if you fly up into it, apparently it EMPs and explodes you. So didn't know that about the aurora borealis. Careful, all of you pilots out there if you're flying into that stuff. But that was actually a pretty satisfying way to destroy a plane. I'm probably going to be flying up there a lot just for fun. Yeah, there it goes. All right, some other notes about the upcoming update is there are a handful of free blocks. You've seen the tank tracks already, but we are getting other stuff other than just the tank tracks, notably a dedicated submarine seat other than just the diving bell. So that'll be nice. We're also going to have an underwater engine, so we can actually power wheels and stuff underwater rather than just using propellers, underwater-based propellers. So that's going to be nice as well. And then we're also going to have a couple of new Beyonce blocks for when you want to sing underwater. Now, that's supposed to say buoyancy, I believe. That's like the most hilarious typo I've ever seen. So these are new shapes of buoyancy block rather than just all the big blocky cube ones and then the dinghy blocks and the pontoons. Now we got these things, which are going to look great for submarine aesthetics. But there will be some skinned and unskinned version of the Beyonce blocks. And I believe what we're seeing here are going to be the DLC skins. And I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure these are the DLC skins. And then the free ones are going to be smooth. They're not going to have these portholes on them. Yeah, so then you can clearly see the example of how they can be used to help add buoyancy to a sub, but keep the sub aesthetic. All right, and then up last, there is the teaser for the actual new campaign for Frozen Tracks. So I'm actually going to let this video play with the audio because there's like there's voiceovers and stuff. So let's watch this minute-long trailer to see what we're in for with the new campaign.
Trailmaker, we have received a distress signal from the hazardous ice moon Hoff. Our reports show it is the source of the Botnak operations in the sector.
Look at all that
The
snow.
local population, known as Waddles, have so far been resisting the occupation, but it's a losing battle. Your mission is to aid the Waddle resistance and destroy the towers that power the Botnak operations.
Thing Botnax.
The final target will be the Botnak mainframe, a sentient AI referring to himself as Overlord. We don't have time to ship new supplies to Hoth, so you'll have to make do with whatever resources are available. We have sent a pod that will take you there. Good luck, Trailmaker.
All right, new NPCs called Waddles, little penguin guys. Oh, speaking of, I actually almost forgot something. There are going to be new character skins as well. So we got like a penguin character. We got like a snowsuit suited up character for the cold weather. And then we got like a raider style character as well. So 3 new character skins to come with the new DLC. So I think that summarizes pretty much most of the new stuff that has been announced so far. I don't think that they've announced a release date or anything yet, but obviously Tank Tracks, big highlight, going to be available for everybody. And also the snow deformation is going to be pretty cool. And actually, there is one interesting thing I almost forgot. Some of you were probably wondering if snow can be deformed with blocks other than wheels and tank tracks. And the answer is yes. This is them showing off like a snow plow thing that just kind of drags through the snow to create deform things. So you can definitely create snow plows and stuff. You don't just have to have wheels in order to deform the snow. Lots of fun challenges potentially in the future. So let me know, what are you guys most looking forward to down in the comments below. And I can't wait till this update comes out so we can create some new types of creations and multiplayer challenges. Let me know if you have any ideas. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.